Describe the direction of that relationship. Is it positive or negative? Is it linear? So just look back at question 6 and answer those questions. Describe the strength of the relationship. Can the number of manatees killed be predicted accurately from powerboat registrations? So if it's very strong, do you think you can make an accurate prediction? If powerboat registrations remain constant at 719,000, about how many manatees would be killed by boats each year? Okay, so see if you can make that prediction. Now remember, if you want to predict something, which they start asking here in number 9, you can get a prediction equation by doing stat calc len reg, and it'll give you the prediction equation, and you can plug in the powerboat registrations for X and get what Y would be. So maybe in that case, that's what you should do. Number 10, in exercise 3.7, so question 7, you made a scatter plot of jet skis in use and the number of accidents. Describe the direction of the relationship. So describe the direction here. So up or down, negative, positive. Are the variables positive or negatively associated? Describe the form of the association. Is it linear? So again, like it could be a curved association, but what we're looking for normally is the linear association. So does it go in the shape of a line? Could you basically draw a line through it? That'll get you through 10. We go to number 15, IQ and school grades. The students with higher IQ scores tend to do better in school. There is a figure down here, a graph. It says it's a scatter plot of IQ and school grade point averages for 78 7th grade students. Say in words what a positive association between IQ and GPA would mean. Does it show a positive association? So if there is a positive association, meaning it's going up, what does that mean? Like in a sentence, that means that what about IQ scores and grade point average? Okay. What is the form of the relationship? Basically, is it linear? Is it strong? So again, you're describing it. Is it weak, strong, moderate? Is it linear? And then is it positive, negative, or no association? That's what they're asking for, the form of that. And they want you to explain, so you need to be able to write sentences on it. Number 16, are hot dogs that are high in calories also high in salt? It gives you a scatter plot of calories and salt in 17 brands of meat hot dogs. That's on figure 3.6 right below us. What are the lowest and highest calorie counts among these brands? So look for calories, which is the x-axis. And then does the scatter plot show a clear positive or negative association? And then are there any outliers? Is the relationship still linear or roughly linear without the outliers? So if we took away the outliers, would it still be linear? How strong, if you ignore the outliers, how strong of a relationship between calories and sodium do you think there is? Then we go to the last question, number 20. 20 says, it talks about 3,368 people to guess the number of calories in several common foods, and there's the list of foods, their guessed calories, and then the actual correct calories. We think how many calories a food actually has helps explain people's guesses of how many it has, so you can tell which one's explanatory and response. With this in mind, make a scatter plot. So we think how many calories a food actually has, which is the correct calories, explains the guessed calories. So the correct calories must go in L1 because they're the explanatory. So even though it's over there on the right, that's going to be your X or your explanatory. So that goes in L1. Your guess calories goes in L2. That'll be your Y. Okay. Describe the relationship. So when you plot it, draw the scatter plot, look at it, describe the relationship. Is it positive or negative? Is it strong, moderate, or weak? And then is it linear or not? And are there any outliers? If there are, tell me which ones they are. And that takes you through tonight's homework. So it's pretty quick on that. Not much to it. Now the McDonald's problem, what I'm looking for is, what we're trying to teach is good writing. So we're trying to teach good argument and good writing, because in a lot of the exam, and you've seen through today, some of you thought it's picky, but really a lot of the exam is, can I write well, and can I argue my point, and can I prove my point? So what we're looking for is, I need you to try to draw two of the curves, you know, the curve that you would make, and then find the z-scores for those based on the man's weight, and then the other one based on how much the chair should hold before it breaks, and then try to prove your point. What I would say is, if you're taking McDonald's side, then you could use the man's weight and how far it is away from the average as a way to say, you know, that he's well above average and that you think you that way. If you're using the man's side, then if, you know, the chair is at 450 before it breaks, but he only weighed 420, so how low was he from where it said that it would break, and then you could kind of tell your point that way. Now, that's part of your argument. The other part is just use your common sense and what you would think. So use the statistics to back up your reason, but think about what you really believe. Should he be held liable? Like if this happened in Lincolnton, do you think the person that should be held liable for it, or do you think that McDonald's should have to pay them for what happened and the embarrassment that caused and stuff? We'll go over your answers. We're actually going to discuss them with each other, so I really need you to turn the paper in. You need to have it written out. If you type it, you need to print it. Don't email it or anything. I got to have it in hand because you need to be able to argue your side in class tomorrow, and that'll take us through all of that. So make sure you write it out, write out your statistics, prove your point, and just be ready to do it in common language. So again, if you're in court, you're going to try to explain this to people who may not be in statistics, may have never taken a statistics class. So you don't want to be writing. You can show your z-scores and everything, but you need to, try to explain yourself without using any really technical terms. And that just gets you used to helping to explain the answers to your problem and everything that you're doing. All right, keep up with our work, and I think it's a chance to make 2 good grades. The McDonald's activity should be 100. The scatter plots tonight should be close to 100, or if not 100. So really take your time on them, make sure they're correct, and make sure you've done it all, and that'll give you 200 homework grades. All right, see you tomorrow.